8 signs their soul has already chosen you, even before they admit it. Psychology tricks. When two souls are meant to connect, distance, time, and circumstances can't stop them. They will always find their way back to each other. Unknown. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant pull, as if something unseen was already drawing the two of you closer? Before the words were spoken, before the feelings were fully understood, it was as if their soul had already decided on you. This kind of connection goes beyond surface attraction. It's not just chemistry or chance, it's recognition. A deep, intuitive knowing that defies logic. You can sense it in their eyes, in the silence between conversations, in the way your energies align even when neither of you speaks. In this video, we'll uncover 8 subtle yet powerful signs that reveal when someone's soul has already chosen you, long before they've dared to admit it. These aren't the usual cliches about love or fate. Each one is grounded in real psychological cues that hint at a connection written deep within both of you. By the end, you'll see the difference between someone who's merely attracted to you and someone whose spirit has already claimed you as theirs. So stay with me to the very end, because missing even one of these signs might mean overlooking the truth your heart has been trying to show you all along. Welcome to Stoicism Win, where we uncover the hidden language of the human mind and the mysteries of connection. If you're ready to understand the deeper side of love, emotion, and attraction, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Sign 1. They feel comfort in silence. Before we rush into the louder, flashier signs that someone's soul has already chosen you, let's stop and listen to the silence. Because silence, when it's real, speaks louder than words ever could. Think about it. Have you ever been around someone where silence felt heavy, awkward, like you needed to fill it with pointless chatter just to keep the air from freezing? That's not connection. That's distance wrapped in noise. But when it comes to someone whose soul is already tied to yours, that silence feels completely different. It's soft, warm, alive. It doesn't need saving or fixing. You could be sitting together on a quiet Sunday morning, scrolling on your phone, lost in your own thoughts, or just watching the world move outside the window, and yet you both feel it. The stillness becomes a shared heartbeat, a gentle reminder that being there, side by side, is enough. No performance, no pressure, just peace. Here's the thing. Most people are terrified of silence. They hide behind jokes, chatter, or constant updates because quiet moments expose what words can't protect. But when someone's soul has already chosen you, before their mind even catches up, they start to let that fear fall away. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to impress. They can just be. That's one of the oldest psychology tricks in love. Pay attention to what people do when the world goes quiet. Because silence is where the truth hides. When someone's energy rests calmly around you, when they stop fidgeting, stop pretending, and simply exist in your presence, that's not boredom, it's trust. Deep, subconscious, emotional trust. The kind that can't be faked, rehearsed, or reasoned into existence. In female psychology, this moment of relaxed silence is rare. Women, especially those who have been hurt or learned to stay guarded, often fill space with words to protect themselves from vulnerability. But when she falls quiet with you, really quiet, it's not distance, it's surrender. Her guard lowers because her intuition, that deep inner radar all women have, feels safe. Her soul recognizes something stable in you. Maybe she doesn't say it, maybe she doesn't even know it yet, but her stillness reveals the truth before her lips ever do. Don't underestimate that. Don't rush to fill that silence. Be still with her. That is where connection blooms. You must understand that love isn't built in the noise, it's revealed in the quiet. This is one of the purest lessons in how to fall in love and how to recognize when someone already has. Silence, in this context, becomes its own secret language. It's a language of the soul, subtle but undeniable. When she sits beside you without needing to speak, it's her heart whispering, "You're home." And if you're paying attention, you'll hear it loud and clear. Don't mistake that calm for emptiness. That's not boredom, it's alignment. Her energy has found yours, and the world around you fades into the background. Be aware of this. The world today is unbearably loud. Constant messages, calls, distractions, endless talking. But when two souls find each other, they create a pocket of stillness that no outside noise can touch. That silence isn't empty, it's full. Full of comfort, full of knowing, full of quiet certainty that words would only water down. Psychology tricks and female psychology both teach us that nonverbal communication often reveals more truth than speech ever could. The way she looks at you in silence, the way her breathing syncs with yours, the way her shoulders relax when she's near you, all of these are signs that go beyond logic. So don't overlook the silence. Don't rush it. Don't panic when the words fade. That's when the magic happens. That's when her soul is speaking in its truest form. You must learn to listen differently, to listen not with your ears, but with your presence. Because when silence feels like comfort, not awkwardness, when it feels like peace, not pressure, that's not coincidence. That's connection. That's a soul recognizing another soul it already trusts. That is how you know they've chosen you, even before they admit it. And in that quiet space between words, you'll realize something extraordinary. Sometimes, love doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand declarations. Sometimes, it just sits quietly beside you, breathing the same air, perfectly content to say nothing at all. Sign 2. They sense your emotions without words. Have you ever met someone who seems to recognize you without a word spoken? Like their soul has been whispering your name long before their lips ever could? It's that feeling when her eyes linger a second too long, when her laughter feels like a memory instead of a sound. That's not coincidence, that's connection. That's what it means when a soul has already chosen you. It's deeper than attraction and more magnetic than desire. It's the kind of pull no amount of logic can explain. You see, before she even admits it, her energy gives her away. Psychology tricks can explain the signals, but not the depth of the feeling. Because when someone's soul has quietly picked you, it's written in how they act, how they respond, and even in the silence between the words. And make no mistake, female psychology often reveals what words conceal. Her heart will show you before her mouth ever confesses it. First, pay attention to her eyes. Don't be fooled by casual glances when she looks at you like you're both the question and the answer. That's no ordinary look. That's a soul remembering. You must notice how her pupils expand, how her tone softens, how her body unconsciously leans closer. Those are tiny giveaways from her subconscious. Psychology tricks show that a woman's mind might resist what her heart already knows, but her body never lies. Don't ignore that. Be observant. Because attraction can be faked, but connection can't. Then there's her energy. You'll feel it before you understand it. She'll find reasons to be near you, even when there's no reason at all. She'll laugh louder when you're around, share stories she doesn't tell anyone else, or act just a little different with you, like she's both nervous and at peace. That is the soul's paradox. That is how you know something greater is at play. If you've ever wondered how to fall in love without forcing it, this is it. You simply stop resisting the natural gravity between two hearts that already know where they belong. Watch how she remembers the smallest things about you. Maybe she brings up a random detail from weeks ago or surprises you with something you mentioned once and forgot. That's not mere attentiveness, that's investment. Female psychology tells us that when a woman's soul chooses, her focus narrows. You become the center of her emotional radar. She'll mirror your mood, sync with your rhythm, and even unknowingly start using your words. It's not manipulation, it's resonance. Her soul is harmonizing with yours. Don't overlook how she protects your energy. When her soul has chosen you, she'll stand up for you when others doubt you, comfort you when you're off balance, and show pride in your presence. It's not just affection, it's alignment. That's the quiet, loyal energy that separates genuine connection from passing attraction. Remember, psychology tricks may teach you to read behavior, but real connection isn't learned, it's felt. Sometimes she'll even pull away, not because she's lost interest, but because her feelings scare her. Her logic starts to argue with her intuition. That's when you must be calm. Don't chase, stay grounded. Be the safe space her heart can return to. True connection requires patience. Be that man who understands that silence can say what words can't. And here's the final sign, when her presence feels like home. When being around her quiets your chaos, steadies your thoughts, and reminds you who you are, that's no random match. That's destiny, disguised as everyday life. You don't choose that kind of bond, it chooses you. How to fall in love becomes less about trying and more about allowing. Don't question it. Don't rush it. Just recognize it for what it is, the universe confirming what your hearts already knew. So, if you've been wondering whether that connection you feel is real, pay attention. The signs aren't loud, but they're true. Every laugh, glance, and heartbeat is proof that some souls find each other long before the mind catches up. And when that happens, you must be ready to trust it, to respect it, and to let love unfold the way it was always meant to. Because in the end, when her soul has already chosen you, it's not about chasing, it's about awakening to the truth that she was never a stranger at all. If this message resonates with you, give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who understands your energy. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on love, connection, and soul alignment. Comment below to make it real and attract more emotional harmony into your life. Comment to remember, my soul connects deeply and effortlessly with those meant for me. Sign 3. You're their safe place unconsciously. When a soul has already chosen you, it doesn't announce it with words. It reveals itself in quiet trust, in the ease they feel when you're near. Watch closely. When someone's entire being exhales the moment they see you, when the tension leaves their shoulders and their laughter becomes real again, that's not coincidence. That's connection at the level of the soul. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And when their thoughts rest in your presence, it's because their soul already recognizes safety. You didn't demand it. You didn't chase it. It simply happened. That's Old Stoic wisdom, the truth that what is meant for you comes without force, without struggle, and without fear. They open up to you not because they choose to, but because their defenses fail in your presence. The walls they built for years collapse silently the moment they trust your energy. When someone feels they can confess their unspoken worries to you, it's not just comfort, it's surrender. Don't underestimate that. It's one of life's rarest signs. When a soul feels seen, it no longer hides. When a heart feels safe, it no longer lies. You must recognize this. You must respect it. In a world of noise and pretense, being someone's safe place is sacred. It's not about possession. It's about resonance. As Epictetus taught in Stoicism, no man is free who is not master of himself. And when their soul chooses you, it's because your self-mastery radiates steadiness, an iron mind that anchors them amid their storms. Think of modern life. Everything is fast, fleeting, transactional. People scroll through faces like flipping pages they never intend to read. But when they pause at you, when your silence feels more healing than 100 voices, that's no accident. That's destiny disguised as calm. Don't let the world's pace make you blind to this miracle. Don't dismiss the quiet loyalty of someone who calls you when their world is breaking, who sits beside you saying nothing because your presence says everything. That's not mere friendship, it's their soul whispering here. I can rest here. Let's be clear. People don't reveal their raw truth to just anyone. They reveal it to those who make judgment impossible and understanding automatic. That is power. That is influence. And it's not loud. It's silent strength, the kind forged through patience, empathy, and old Stoic wisdom. You must protect that. Never betray it. Never exploit it. Because once a soul has chosen you, your role becomes higher, to guard, to steady, to guide. Remember Seneca's reminder, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. You become that warrior not through force, but through calm, through an iron mind that sees emotion and chooses integrity. In a time when many chase temporary highs and shallow validation, you stand apart by offering safety, not chaos. You don't need to impress, you need to understand. You don't need to demand, you need to remain. That's how you win, not over others, but over yourself. That's how Stoicism wins, not by denial of feeling, but by mastery of it. Don't forget this truth, consistency is magnetic. Calm is power. Patience is dominance. The one who can be still when others panic is the one who already rules the room. So when you notice that someone seeks your presence before your words, value it. When they exhale near you, protect that moment. When they trust you without explanation, know it's not weakness, it's their soul recognizing home. That's no accident. That's alignment. That's the invisible hand of fate telling you, this is where strength meets softness. Don't ignore it. Don't fear it. Stand firm in it. Let your iron mind meet their fragile trust and form something unbreakable. In the end, being someone's safe place is not about what you say, it's about what your spirit commands. Let your actions prove your steadiness. Let your silence be louder than promises. That's old Stoic wisdom. That's how Stoicism wins. And that's how you master life, not by conquering others, but by being the one place a weary soul can finally rest. Because when their heart finds refuge in you, even before they admit it, victory has already been written. Sign 4. They remember the little things. Before you get swept up in the fireworks of grand gestures, pause and look at something quieter, the whispers of attention that speak louder than declarations. When someone's soul has already chosen you, it shows up not in the big, obvious moves, but in the tiny details they never forget. Think about it. You mention your favorite snack once, in passing, maybe while distracted or half joking, and weeks later, they hand it to you without fanfare. Or they remember how you take your coffee, the exact way you like it, even when you didn't think they were paying attention. That's not coincidence. That's connection. That's what real understanding looks like when female psychology starts revealing its secrets. It's one of those quiet psychology tricks of attraction that tells you more than any "I love you" ever could. Don't underestimate this. Most people forget what doesn't truly matter to them. They tune out. But when someone remembers those little things, it's because you've already become a part of their inner world. Be honest. How many people in your life remember the name of your childhood dog or that story you once told about getting lost on your first trip alone? Few, right? But when someone's soul has chosen you, those details stay lodged in their mind like gold dust. That is the psychology of deep attention, one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book. It's not about having a great memory. It's about focus. Real focus. The kind that doesn't need effort because it's powered by emotion. When they recall that little detail about your dream, your fear, or your favorite movie, they're saying something without words. You matter. I see you. Be aware of that. Because this is how to fall in love begins, not with lightning bolts, but with noticing. Every word you say becomes a thread in their understanding of you, and they weave it carefully, almost unconsciously. When their soul has chosen you, your voice doesn't just pass through their ears. It settles somewhere deeper. It echoes. It lingers. You must understand that this isn't just charm, it's instinct. It's how female psychology bonds and invests emotionally before admitting it out loud. Don't be fooled by silence either. When someone remembers something you said months ago, when they bring up that tiny comment you thought had vanished into the air, that's proof they were listening with intent. That's the difference between hearing and truly listening. And in the game of how to fall in love, listening is the move most people forget. Be sharp enough to notice it. Don't dismiss those small moments as coincidence. Don't let your ego rush past them searching for grand gestures. The truth hides in the details. The way they remember tells you everything about where their attention and their heart really lies. You see, souls that have already chosen each other don't need to shout it. They whisper it through memory. They prove it by what they notice. That's why you must pay attention to the little things they recall about you. Do they remember your birthday? Sure, that's easy. But do they remember the smell of rain you said you loved? The laugh you made over an inside joke only you two share? That's where it gets real. That's the subtle art of connection that psychologists call selective emotional recall, another one of those powerful psychology tricks hidden inside genuine affection. It's the mind's way of saying, this person matters. Store everything. So don't ignore it. Don't brush off the fact that they remember what you wore on a random Tuesday or how you once said you hated olives. Because those things aren't random to them, they're markers of meaning. Be wise enough to notice when someone collects those pieces of you like treasures. Because that's not casual interest. That's soul-level focus. That's the first chapter of How to Fall in Love, written in quiet attention and sealed by memory. And if you ever doubt where their heart stands, Don't look at what they say. Look at what they remember. Because when a person's soul has already chosen you, every detail becomes sacred. Every word becomes a clue. And in the end, it's not the big moments that reveal love, it's the tiny things they never forget. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Sign 5. You feel familiar, like you've always known each other. Before we talk about the visible signs of love, the gestures, the glances, the words, we have to step inward, into that quiet, mysterious space where something ancient stirs. Have you ever met someone for the very first time, yet felt like you were simply remembering them? As if you'd already shared lifetimes together, and this moment was just a continuation, not a beginning? That isn't coincidence. That's connection. It's not just comfort, it's recognition. It's your soul whispering, there you are. When their soul has already chosen you, being with them doesn't feel like meeting, it feels like coming home. Conversations don't start, they resume. Laughter doesn't sound new, it rings familiar, like an echo you've carried deep inside. You don't have to think about what to say, words flow like a river that already knows its path. You're not performing, not pretending, not trying. You just are. You know it instantly, that warmth, that peace, that effortless trust. Their presence feels like home, not because they complete you, but because they remind you of who you already are. That feeling? It's your soul recognizing its mirror. Don't underestimate it. That familiarity isn't random. It's a signal, a pull that exists beyond logic or timing. It's the same energy that draws a high-value man toward what's real, not what's merely beautiful. It's the force that whispers, "Stay here. This matters." When you feel that kind of recognition, don't dismiss it as fantasy. Be attentive. Be present. Because sometimes love isn't built, it's remembered. You'll notice it, how your guard drops faster than reason allows. You share stories you haven't told anyone else. You laugh without restraint. You feel seen without having to explain. Logic says, slow down. Your soul says, I've been here before. That's not weakness. That's ancient familiarity. The masculine energy within a high-value man knows when something real crosses his path. He doesn't question it endlessly. He doesn't run from it. He recognizes it. You must understand, this isn't about fantasy or destiny in a movie sense. It's about deep resonance. Two energies remembering they once moved together. That's why the trust is instant. It's not built over years, it's awakened in seconds. You might notice flashes of déjà vu, tiny fragments of memory that don't make sense. A gesture, a word, a look that tugs at something old. Her laughter feels like you've heard it before. Her presence carries a rhythm that feels familiar, even if your mind can't place it. It's as if you're both turning the pages of a story you didn't realize you were already part of. That's not coincidence. That's your energy recognizing its counterpart. When her soul has already chosen you, she'll feel it too, even if she hasn't admitted it yet. That quiet comfort, that ease, that unspoken understanding, it's the language of connection written before time began. Don't confuse familiarity with comfort zones. Comfort can be shallow. Familiarity, true, soul-level familiarity, is profound. It shakes you awake. It doesn't lull you to sleep. It makes you feel alive. That's the paradox. The connection feels ancient, but it also ignites something brand new. You feel calm and electrified, peaceful and alert. That is the mark of something real. A high-value man doesn't chase fleeting attraction. He listens for resonance. He recognizes when his soul leans forward. You must trust that feeling. Don't run from it. Don't overanalyze it. Be the man who understands that not everything true can be measured. When she feels like home, when her presence makes your chest expand instead of contract, that's no accident. That's alignment. That's recognition. That's her soul remembering yours. When love feels like remembering, pay attention. Because sometimes the person who seems new is actually someone your soul has known for ages. You've simply found each other again in this lifetime. And when that happens, don't doubt it. Be the man who honors it. Be the man who leads with strength and openness. Be the man whose masculine energy doesn't fear connection, but protects it. Because that sense of familiarity, it's not coincidence. It's a calling. And if you're wise enough to answer it, you'll attract women not through effort, but through truth. That is the power of recognition. That is what happens when a soul has already chosen you. Sign 6. They show subtle commitment even behind hesitation. Don't ignore the quiet gestures, they're louder than words. When a soul has already chosen you, loyalty isn't a decision, it's instinct. They'll show up not because they have to, but because they can't stay away. You see it in how they remember your smallest details and how they study you when life shakes you. Love is not what you say. Love is what you do, as Ralph Waldo Emerson reminded us. And he was right. True connection lives in consistency, not performance. In an age where promises fade like smoke and attention shifts with every notification, their steady presence is proof of something deeper. Don't underestimate that. The Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that real strength isn't in emotion, it's an endurance in action. A Stoicism win isn't loud, it's patient. It's the iron mind that stays true when the world tests its limits. Watch the man or woman who shows up when no one's watching. That's devotion. They'll guard your name when others gossip. They'll protect your peace when the world demands chaos, and they'll support your mission even when it doesn't serve them. These small actions are not random. They're signs of the soul aligning before the mind catches up. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them, Hemingway said. And when their behavior keeps proving your trust right, that's not coincidence, that's soul recognition. Don't be fooled by hesitation. Hesitation is just fear wrestling with destiny. When a soul has chosen you, their choices betray their silence. They prioritize you without planning to. They defend you without a thought. They protect your emotions as if they were their own. Every time they show up, every time they repeat that quiet act of care, they're saying one thing: you're mine. This is not about control, it's about recognition. You must understand this truth. Commitment doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through repetition. The Old Stoic wisdom reminds us that silence and consistency reveal more about a person's soul than speeches ever could. That's how an iron mind operates: steady, deliberate, unshaken. Don't look for fireworks, look for endurance. That is where the truth hides. Let's make this clear. In modern life, loyalty is rare. People drift like wind over water. But when you find someone whose actions remain anchored in care, that's not luck, that's alignment. You must treasure it, but never depend on it blindly. Meet consistency with consistency. Nourish strength with strength. Build your own iron mind, because even when someone's soul has chosen you, you must still be strong enough to stand alone. That's Stoicism win, emotional control, not detachment. To master love, you must first master yourself. Don't beg for proof, observe patterns. Don't chase validation, notice consistency. Don't drown in emotion, rise with discipline. Every man must learn this. Love is not about possession. It's about recognition of loyalty and silence. So, the next time someone checks on you when no one else does, when they keep their word without you asking, when their eyes soften even while their words stay guarded, listen. That's the universe speaking through action. Their soul already knows. And if you're wise enough, calm enough, and forged in the Old Stoic wisdom, you'll recognize it too. Let your heart be open, but your mind remain iron. Because in the end, it's not passion that wins, it's perseverance. And that's how you master life. By seeing what others miss, by hearing what others ignore, by trusting what actions whisper louder than declarations. Remember, real love is steady, not showy. True commitment doesn't need to be announced, it needs to be lived. So don't doubt the quiet ones. They're the ones whose souls have already chosen you long before they ever said it out loud. If this touched your heart, like the video and share it with someone whose loyalty speaks louder than words. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on soulful connections. Comment to remember, true commitment whispers through consistency. Sign 7. They want to be near you for no clear reason. When a soul has already chosen you, logic takes a back seat. There's no checklist, no agenda, no rational explanation, just a magnetic pull that keeps drawing them in. You might notice her popping up in places she doesn't really need to be, sending that innocent text just to ask a small question, or suddenly remembering she left something with you that she absolutely must retrieve. Don't ignore those moments. Those are not coincidences. That is her soul's quiet way of saying, I feel safe here. And when a woman feels safe, that's when something real begins. This isn't about chasing or guessing. It's about understanding how female psychology works beneath the surface. One of the oldest psychology tricks in the book is that comfort always beats excitement in the long run. When she finds comfort with you, when your presence feels like peace instead of pressure, that's when love quietly takes root. Don't be fooled by her excuses to stay close. I was just in the area. I thought you might need this. I couldn't sleep, so I texted you. Each of these small gestures is her subconscious trying to stay connected. Be aware, women rarely say what they feel directly when emotion runs deep. Their souls speak through proximity. So, when she's around you for no reason, that's the biggest reason of all. This is one of those psychology tricks most men overlook. You think it's casual, but her spirit is whispering, "You're where I belong." That's not an accident. That's female psychology at work. It's not manipulation. It's instinct. The desire to be near someone who brings her inner calm is how to fall in love without forcing it. Think about it. People don't return to chaos. They return to peace. If she keeps finding her way back into your space, even when she doesn't have to, it's not about convenience. It's about connection. That invisible thread pulling her closer every time is the language of the soul. No plans, no strategy, just energy that recognizes its mirror. And when a woman's energy aligns with yours, it feels effortless. You don't have to do much. Just be. Be steady. Be kind. Be present. That's what her soul is responding to, even if her mind hasn't caught up yet. Don't chase what's already walking toward you. Don't question what feels natural. Just understand it. That's how to fall in love the right way, by allowing the rhythm between you to unfold without control. There's something profoundly beautiful about the way a woman's soul chooses. You'll feel it long before she says it. She'll linger in your presence, laughing at small things, noticing details others miss. She'll find comfort in your silence. And when she leaves, there'll be a faint echo of her energy that stays behind, like her spirit didn't quite want to go. That's not fantasy. That's female psychology written in energy, not words. Don't dismiss it. Recognize it. Because when a soul feels at home, it never truly leaves. You must understand this if you want to master how to fall in love and keep it real. Stop overanalyzing her words and start reading her patterns. That's where truth hides in repetition, not in talk. Sometimes the most powerful sign that someone has chosen you isn't grand or loud. It's quiet. It's the steady return. The consistent just checking in. The smile that lingers longer than it should. The eyes that soften when they find yours. These are the micro moments that psychology tricks can help you see more clearly. Don't ignore them. Don't make excuses for them. Be smart enough to notice, but humble enough not to manipulate. Because when her soul says, with you, I feel at home, it's not just romance, it's recognition. You didn't meet by chance. You were magnetized by something far deeper than coincidence. That's the secret of true connection, the kind that doesn't need explanation, only acknowledgement. So, pay attention. When she wants to be near you for no clear reason, that is the reason. It's love before words, attraction before logic, destiny before decision. Be wise enough to see it. Be calm enough to let it unfold. And never forget, when the soul decides, the heart follows. That's how she falls in love long before she ever admits it. Sign 8. Their eyes say what their heart can't. Before a single word escapes their lips, their eyes have already spoken volumes. Eyes don't just look, they confess. They whisper secrets the heart is too guarded to admit. And when a soul has already chosen you, no amount of silence can disguise it. It starts small. A glance that lingers half a heartbeat too long. A look that stays when everyone else looks away. You catch it, that flicker of warmth, that soft uncertainty, and suddenly you know. You don't need to hear a thing. You feel it. Their eyes are the windows to their soul, yes, but they're also the mirrors of their fear. You see the quiet care, the tenderness they try to tuck behind casual conversation. You see the hesitation, the hope. Sometimes you even see the terror. What if she doesn't feel it too? That's the thing about connection. It's raw, it's real, it's unguarded. It doesn't need words. When they look at you like that, it's not an accident. It's instinct. It's soul memory. Somewhere deep down, they've already made a choice. Their eyes are just catching up to it. Don't ignore it. Be present. That lingering gaze isn't just attraction, it's alignment. It's two frequencies humming in perfect sync. That's the language of souls that have already recognized each other long before the mind could explain why. When you're a high-value man, you don't chase validation, you observe. You sense. You understand that true connection doesn't scream. It speaks softly through eye contact, through energy, through the things left unsaid. You carry masculine energy not in loud gestures, but in stillness, in the calm, grounded confidence that says, I see you. I know you feel this too. And women feel it. They're drawn to it. Because when a man's gaze is sure but gentle, intense but kind, he doesn't just attract women, he awakens something sacred in them. He reminds them of safety, of passion, of something ancient and undeniable. That is the mark of a man who doesn't need to prove himself. A man who doesn't flinch from silence, who can let his eyes do the talking. When his soul recognizes hers, he doesn't rush to explain it away. He trusts it. Because here's the truth, you can fake words, you can fake charm, but you can't fake the way you look at someone when your heart has already chosen them. Your pupils dilate. Your breath shifts. Your body language betrays the truth you haven't dared to speak. So, when you notice that look, that raw, unspoken confession, don't second guess it. Be aware. Be bold. Be the man who sees what others overlook. Because sometimes, the most powerful love stories don't start with a kiss or a confession. They start with a look that says everything. You must recognize it for what it is, the eyes, speaking the language of the soul. No words, no proof, just knowing. Because when their gaze finds yours and lingers there, it's not coincidence, it's connection. And when you feel it, you'll understand. Some truths don't need to be spoken. Some souls don't need to ask permission to choose. Sometimes, one look is enough for two lives to change forever. So, as we come to the end of this video, remember this. True love isn't something you chase. It's something you recognize. You don't have to force someone to see your worth or try to prove that you're special. When their soul has already chosen you, your presence alone speaks louder than any effort. They'll feel calm around you. They'll understand you even in silence. And those quiet moments, the ones that don't demand attention, are where real connection grows. My honest advice to you is this: don't rush love. Don't chase what isn't ready. If a connection feels genuine, nurture it with patience, honesty, and calm. Because souls that are meant for each other always find their way back, not when you force it, but when both hearts are finally ready to recognize what's always been there. True love doesn't need to be found. It just needs to be recognized. Thanks for spending your time with me today. If this message spoke to you, take a deep breath, trust the timing of your life, and remember, your soul always knows what it's doing. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.